All right, now that Triple Crown is 16 days away, college coaches are coming to your court. We're going to talk about what to do next. One of the biggest things about a tournament like Triple Crown is there are a lot of college coaches wandering and walking around the convention center. There's a lot. You are going to see a lot of college coaches at or near your court. One of the hardest things to do, because they're there and because they're around, one of the hardest things to do is not focus on them. But that would be something that I would encourage you to do as an athlete. Don't focus on the college coaches that are standing around your court. Because when you do that, you're going to tense up, get excited, and then you are going to be thinking about every single play, what you did wrong. And when you make a mistake, oh, this coach saw me do that. This coach saw me do this wrong. All right, now they're not going to recruit me. Oh, they walked away after I made a mistake. And so now they're not interested. And you're going to get in your own head. And so the best thing to do for all athletes, regardless of your recruiting class, when it comes to having college coaches at your court, is try your best to not pay attention. I know for some of you, you're just really good at it and you can pick out this coach and that jacket and over here, and I saw them and I saw them and I saw them. Some athletes are just really good at that. I can understand that and sympathize with it. I would really encourage you as best you can to just focus on volleyball. Just focus on volleyball. College coaches are there. They're there watching. The only thing that you have control over is how you play and how you interact with your teammates and how you interact with your coaches. That's what you need to be focusing on, is just the volleyball. Another thing to consider is that sometimes these college coaches are several courts over watching you. They might not be standing at your court. They might be standing at the court next to you or the court behind you, right? So you might not be able to see them when they're watching you play. So that's something to keep in mind. Not to make you nervous all the time, literally, but just, again, you can't control when and where they are. So just focus on playing volleyball. Another thing too that happens sometimes, I'll leave a court or I'll be walking around the convention center. An athlete will text me, Jason, I saw so-and-so at our court. Can you find out what they thought? And that is something that I always try to discourage athletes from doing or even trying to process. Because again, you need to be worried about volleyball. You need to be focused on volleyball. All the feedback, all the interest and engagement, all of that's going to happen after the weekend. You don't need to worry about texting college coaches 5 seconds after they leave your court. You don't even really need to, in the moment, be worried about emailing college coaches the next day after the tournament or the qualifier is over. If you and your parents want to keep track of who you saw, and if you're one of our athletes, sending that to me, putting that in some sort of Google Doc and then sending it to your recruiting coordinator, club coach, club director, whatever. That's great. I would definitely encourage you to do that if you notice certain college coaches at your court so you can keep track of all of it. I think that's a really good idea. Again, it's not something that you have to worry about in the moment. In the moment, you need to worry about volleyball, because the second thing that I want to talk about is why these college coaches are at your court to begin with. If you have emailed these schools, if you have emailed these college coaches and they are watching your film and then planning on coming to watch you play, they are at your court because they probably already like your film. And they're trying to see if the film matches up with what they see live as far as the metrics go. Does she jump as high as it looks on film? Is she as tall as she looks on film? Does she hit the ball as hard as I think she hits the ball on film? They're trying to match that up. So there's already something there for you that is bringing them to their court, to your court. Because if they didn't like your film, they probably wouldn't be there. Or they're only going to stay for 2 or 3 seconds, then they're going to move on to go watch someone else. And so when college coaches come to your court, they're trying to make sure the metrics match up. But as they stay longer to evaluate you, they're evaluating the volleyball piece, yes. But what a lot of coaches are really doing in those situations is they're looking at now everything else. They're watching how you interact with your club coach. They're watching how you interact with your parents, with your teammates. They're watching what you do after you make a mistake. It's not a big deal that you make a mistake. Everybody makes mistakes in volleyball. Go watch the Olympics. Go watch the national championship from this year. Everybody makes mistakes. It is part of the game. What they want to see is what you do after you make a mistake. That's what they're watching. That's what they're looking for. And so they'll watch from 2 courts over and just see, okay, she knows I'm not here because she can't see me, but I'm going to watch her and I'm going to see how she engages with her mom. See how she engages with her dad. See if she slams the ball into the ground after she has a hitting error. That's why they are either watching on your court or watching from a little bit further away, because they are trying to figure out the intangibles that you bring. Leadership, personality, competitiveness. What are the different attributes that you have that make you stand out as the person? We've talked about that. The person at this point, if they're coming to your court and watching you play and evaluating you for long periods of time, sometimes that's because they're trying to figure out, I have these 2 5'10" outside hitters, which one's more competitive? Which one's really going to drive my team to the next level? Which one of these 2 outside hitters can put the team on their shoulders and carry them to the next win? That's what they're trying to figure out, and that's what they're evaluating. How you interact with your teammates is important. How you interact with your coach is important. All those things, that is what college coaches are trying to do when they come to your court. So try as best as you can not to pick out the different college coaches, try to figure out who they are while you're playing, because it's just going to get in your head more often than not. And then the second thing is understand why they're there. They're there because they like you. They're there because they want to watch you and evaluate you a little bit more, and they want to see what you're capable of, and they want to see the type of person that they're recruiting, not just the athlete. Triple Crown is 16 days away. If you missed the last video, go back and watch that one from 24 days away. We've got one more video in store for you guys in about a week. We'll do that one 8 days before Triple Crown. And then hopefully I will see you in Kansas City in a couple weeks. But let me know in the comments what you thought. Was this video helpful? And if I will see you in Kansas City in a couple weeks.